Hi BookTube, welcome to Jackie's Literary Corner. I am Jackie, and no, this is not a TBR video for November, but I have thought about it. You know, every time I watch other people's videos on their TBRs, I'm tempted to make a TBR, but I'm trying not to, because when it comes to TBRs, I always get over ambitious, and there are like too many books I want to read. Like, I have too many ideas of books that I want to pick up, and it just can be overwhelming because I end up giving myself too many options and then I don't get through them all. And so I'm trying to stick to like focusing on like 3 books at the most, although technically 4, because I am trying to read my books on my Kindle, so that, because I've made a deal with myself that I would read at least 3 books on my Kindle before I get another set of books for my Kindle, because there are some that I'm thinking about. Like, it's too late because Halloween is over, but The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. There's others that I'm like really excited, that I don't want to physically buy it, but I am interested in getting them for an ebook version of them. Like, I've been very tempted, but again, I'm trying to stick to reading like only a few books, reading a few books first before I get another one, before I add more to my ebooks collection. So I'm still making my way through the Harrowing of Gwynedd. I don't know how to say that. I am starting to realize what some of those reviews have said about how the author, they expect you to have already read the other books that are kind of prequel, like series that come before this one that are set in the same world. Because there's a magic system, there are groups of people in that world that she hasn't explained. Elizabeth Kurtz, I think it's Elizabeth Kurtz. But she hasn't explained what the Darindi, I think that's how you say it, what those people are. I'm kind of getting an idea, like they are healers and they can create portals. So it's kind of fantasy, but also kind of based on actual history, and it's like an alternate history, an alternate version of our world, where like the Catholics, like that's with the Catholics, like maybe the church is still running things. I'm still like trying to figure it all out. But I'm still enjoying. Even though there are things about it that I'm confused with, I'm actually still enjoying the story. I do have an idea of. I know what's going on. Like these people are being ostracized, and they're seen as a threat. These Darin people, because they have this power that's seen as dangerous. And one of the princes of this kingdom has that power, and he's trying to not reveal it to the rest of his kingdom that he has it, because he knows it will get him killed or at least imprisoned. And he's trying to play spy for the Darini. I do not know if I'm saying it right. And I don't know if they were cousins to him, just got killed. And there's a lot of marriage plots going on, people trying to, and it's that typical, like, that conflict of, we're making these people look like the threat, the bad guys, and, thinking, oh, they're in trying to manipulate things, so it looks like they're the ones who did the villainy, did the killing, and oh, they're so evil, we can't trust them, and of course our prince character, I think he's 12. He's very young. Like, this kind of does a similar thing to what George R. R. Martin does with his characters, his children characters in Song of Ice and Fire, where you forget that they're really young. This prince, I think he's 12, and then he has siblings that are not that much older than him or a little bit younger than him, and they're in royal positions too. And I forget how young they are preteens, basically early teens and preteens. But this is a kind of medieval type world, so You know, they're gonna grow up a lot faster than we do in modern times. But, and also, you know, their kids, one of the priestesses in the Durin has, her children have inherited the abilities of these people that they can, it's something like make you clear, like, make you clear so that you can't harness your powers, your magic or whatever. And that can be dangerous. And this kid is only like 3 years old. Her son, who can do this already. And so that ends up being like danger. Like it also allows for an enemy not to be able to not to reveal yourself as part of this group of people, if you can make yourself clear. So I kind of understand it. I'm following along, but yeah, I can see where, you know, maybe you want to read. I should have read the previous books, but it was recommended to me on Amazon/Kindle, so I picked it up, and it sounded really intriguing. I did put on my wish list the other books and the previous books that we'll explain later, so I can get to those. So that's another thing. I mean, what I would probably do is I would still read the rest of the trilogy and then read those books. Because it's not like I'm completely lost or anything. I mean, there are things I don't know, but I'm still able to get into, like I said, I can still get into the story. And I have an idea of what's going on. So, but I've since put that down because I'm trying to focus on getting this one read. This is the third book in the Wax and Wane series, the second Mistborn series. And I'm really enjoying this series. I like the adventure of it and the banter between these two guys, and you know, and how personal it is for Wax. Kind of, he's more of the main character than Wayne is. And his personal journey, and how this whole his adventure, the adventure is kind of is personal for him. And I like the character of Steris, and I like the developing relationship between her and Wax, and Marcy, I still don't know how to say her name, and Wayne, he is really funny, but I can understand where he would be someone that would get annoying. And we're also exploring more of this world that Brandon Sanderson has created. And I think it's really a really fun series. I'm enjoying the ride. It's very fast paced. It's a little more not as philosophical as the previous series, the previous trilogy, but there are discussions of class privilege and who has the right to have power, and you know who has the rights to allomantic powers, and do the rich deserve, you know, I think it's especially interesting to read this around, you know, a time when people are having strong opinions about billionaires. And I think that it's kind of similar to, you know, they're kind of talking about that in here. But anyway, I am almost done, so I'm going to finish this up today. So I am also been reading on and off my history of Japan. I just read the chapters on, forgive me the mispronunciation, but the Heian period, which actually, the pillow book that Terry got me for Christmas last year, this book is that written in that time period. It's a diary of a woman from that time period, and her thoughts on what's going on in the world, her likes and dislikes, her daily life. And according to this, a lot of women wrote those diaries. Now, this one is a little bit different because of the structure. It's written differently. The pillow book is written very differently from other diaries. Like, those other diaries are very much more day-to-day life. This is more her observations of the world around her, and I'm really liking this. It's because it is a diary, I'm kind of taking a lot of time reading this. So I'm hoping once I'm done with this to pick the pillow book up again and read a little bit more of it. But I feel like the Heian period is probably the more popular Japanese history to write about and to study and learn about and to read about, because of the art that was created at this time, that time period, all the, it felt like, from what I read, it sounded like it was a more artistic time period in Japanese history. And I'm guessing the period I'm reading about now, the Ashikaga rule. I'm wondering if that is around the time that Shogun takes place, the book Shogun, because it's talking about shoguns and everything, and all that. So I don't know, but like I said, first I'm gonna read the pillow book, and then I might go to that book next. As far as my journey into Japan and its history and its culture, we will see. But there's this company Tuttle has written a lot of books. Like, there's a lot of books on Japan published by Tuttle, actually. So I would like to read some of these. And I imagine there's a lot of people that would be interested in a history of Japan in manga, which I guess covers this kind of stuff, but in manga format, I'm guessing. I think a lot of people would find that really interesting, and would enjoy reading that. But this is really fun, learning about this culture and its history and everything. And I am gonna watch I did say bookmark a video on YouTube that's a lecture on Japan, like a summing up history kind of video, it looks like. So I'm gonna watch some of those. And that was actually inspired by, looking that up was actually inspired by I don't remember which booktuber, or which, I should say, YouTuber. It wasn't a booktuber, it was just a regular YouTuber. Talked about how you can watch college lectures on YouTube. Instead, especially because college is so expensive, not everyone can go. So you can at least have the experience of learning what you learn in college. Or if you just want to do it for fun, I mean, I know that, unfortunately, with a lot of jobs, you do need a college. I think you do need a college degree. So I don't really have a lot to say. I mean, any more to say about this? I haven't picked it up, and I will pick it up again soon. I just want to finish this one first. So really, those are the only books I'm currently reading. I did get my Poldark books. I don't have so now I have books 1, 2, and 3, but I don't have book 4. So I'm hoping I'll get that for Christmas. But there's other books in the series that I don't have. And so it's going to be, I want to take my time with that series, but I might start reading that series in November. Read the first couple books, and then read what I can, and hopefully I will get, I think, book 4 in November, so I can continue the series. But I don't know what I want to read. I might still do a TBR video, or at least talk about some possibilities to make myself, less, so that, because I keep getting tempted to make a TBR video, and I never get, and I'm trying not to, but I might just do a video where I do a pile of possibilities. But I gotta restrict my list and not do too many books, because I have a bad habit of doing that. And I am curious, how was your Halloween? If you celebrate Halloween, I know on a rare occasion there's some people who don't. I met someone at work, a customer at work, that didn't celebrate it. And which that kind of inspired me to, and then listening to history podcasts on the history of Halloween kind of inspired me to at some point get, to put on my wish list books about the history of Halloween. Because I feel like our world's kind of forgotten the true, what Halloween, it's the true history of it. Like, Halloween was about respecting your ancestors. It was about, it's not all evil and demons and all that. Like, it's, like, there's part of that. You're scaring the spirits away by dressing up, but there was so much more of that in Ireland, and, they celebrate very differently. It's a more spiritual holiday than is here, where it's you're not even off the next day. They, in those podcasts, the two podcasts I watched, one of them did talk about how this holiday you're not off you still have to go to work, unlike with other holidays like Christmas, you can potentially off the next day. It's like, and it's more of again, this is another one of those holidays kind of affected by capitalism and consumerism, and how we prioritize buying the costumes and buying the candy. And I mean, the only thing I can see from like, I wish I could hand make my costumes, but I cannot sew. I have disabilities that make it difficult for me to sew costumes and stuff. So the only thing I could do, if I wanted to do I couldn't really hand make my costume, but I could find pieces of clothing from my own wardrobe and try to make up a costume. But I'm recycling the costumes that I bought over the years for like conventions and stuff that I've since stopped going to lately. I just haven't felt like spending the money on those right now. But I've been using those, and I don't even have to wear costumes anymore because I'm an adult now, so I don't go trick-or-treating. I don't have any kids. So, but I do like dressing up for, passing out candy. And unfortunately, I don't have Halloween, parties. Like, grocery stores don't do Halloween parties. They do let us, sort of semi dress up, not actual full on costumes, but, well, except for one of the bartenders because we do have a bar in our store, and she wore a military. Her costume was a military person, and one of our managers had cat whiskers and ears and a nose on. But no one does. I don't think we would be allowed to do full on costume. So I just wore a t-shirt that, my Nightmare Before Christmas t-shirt. Although everyone there thought that was my costume. And it's like, well, technically no, it's not a costume. It's just a t-shirt with the that represents Halloween. So it's not my costume. But I'd probably be nitpicky and complaining about, people. I mean, most of our clientele are older people, so like senior age people. So, oh well, even though, like, when they would walk away, I would talk to my coworkers and complain to them how I'm like, this is not a costume, this is just a t-shirt. That is Halloween related. But anyway, so yeah, I would love to know if you did any type of dressing up. Did you go to Halloween parties? Did you pass out candy, dress up? Do you have kids that you take trick-or-treating? Did you watch scary movies? Or, like I said, do you not celebrate Halloween? Are you not into Halloween? Would love to know how that was going. Did you read anything spooky this month? I did read a couple, and I'm gonna do my I'll wrap up, like I said, I'm trying to stick to the whole reading. I'm doing bi-monthly wrap-ups where I wrap 2 months up and at the end of November instead of just November. But yeah, I mean, so did you read anything spooky? Anything Halloween related this month? I'd love to know. I will talk about more, but some of my spooky books I enjoyed, but others I was kind of conflicted on. And I will elaborate more on that when I wrap them up at the end of November. And we will see about if I'm going to do like a pile of possibilities video or just not even do anything like that. Just talk about them when I get to them. Get to start reading November reads. But we will see. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this update video. And I will talk to y'all later. Alright, bye!